against the South Carolina Gamecocks. It was a game I covered, and one thing that stands out about TJ, his height. 6'7". He's gigantic, extremely confident. He's in command. The last year may have been a little bit of a roller coaster, he admitted to us, but I thought he showed uncommon maturity in our discussions this week, and he is ready to go tonight, Mark.
Making his first start at Auburn, victory that he had against the South Carolina Gamecocks team for LSU, coming as a freshman for the LSU Tigers. South Carolina folks winning the toss, deferring to the second half. Auburn will receive, so we'll get a look at Finley early here on the game's first possession. Shane Beamer, the first-year head coach of the Gamecocks, would love nothing more than to get win number 6 tonight and become bowl eligible. Trying to make his own imprint on this program in Columbia. They come in with a record of 5-5 overall, 2-5 in conference play, and we are underway. Hunter on the return for the Tigers. Still on his feet. And out to the 33-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for quarterback TJ Finley. And Robert, we talked about it a little bit earlier. No moment is too big for him. We've seen him earlier this year bring his team back in victory.
Yes, he did. He did that against Georgia State, really coming in the game in the fourth quarter, made tremendous plays left and right. And you're not wrong. Nothing is too big for him.
Too big.
Right? Nothing's too big for this guy. He's 6'7", 246 pounds. I don't think he's ever seen a throw that he doesn't think he can make. Let's see what he can do today against the Gamecocks.
They're going to run it on first down. This is Tank Bigsby into the boundary, and Bigsby picks up about 8 as we take a look at tonight's impact players, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Well, there was one of them just right there, Tank Bigsby, right? Very productive, talented back. They're looking to him and this massive offensive line to take some pressure off of TJ Finley. And then you got Jalen Foster, the walk-on who leads the SEC in interceptions. What a great story he is. You root for guys like him.
Second down and about 2 to go. Finley incomplete, in and out of the arms of Johnson. Javarius Johnson had it knocked loose. So it'll be 3rd down, about 2 to go. Johnson with 11 receptions on the season. And the big news for Auburn is that they are without Kobe Hudson tonight, their leading receiver. So how do they adjust here on a crucial 3rd down early?
Well, 3rd and 2 right here, you would anticipate them to try to run the ball and maybe actually use this as a 2-down situation. But Kobe Hudson is such a great player on 3rd downs.
It's going to be Tank off the left side of the offensive line, picks up the 1st down and moves it out to the 45. Bigsby with a nice gain all the way out to the 45, picked up 5 yards. Brian Harsin, former Boise State player and coach. Coached at Arkansas State, now 1st year on the Plains at Auburn. And trying to snap a 2-game losing streak coming into this contest tonight. 1st and 10. Finley down the sidelines. Incomplete at the 20-yard line. Intended for Demetrius Robertson. Closely covered by Cam Smith. Well, Shane Beamer, the first-year head coach here at South Carolina, trying to establish his own culture here. Tipping point coming back in week 2 against East Carolina, where he feels they really turned their season around for the better. We'll talk about that a little bit later. 2nd and 10. Bigsby stopped up for a gain of about 1 on the play. And Egbari making the tackle. He's one of the leaders in tackles for loss this year defensively. 3rd down and long coming up for Auburn.
Yeah, you look at Kingsley Enagbare there. His nickname is JJ the Jet Plane, and he's also their leading sack guy. So here on 3rd and 9, look for him to pin his ears back and go after the quarterback.
Loose ball. Finley never got it. Flag down.
Offside. Defense number 6. 5-yard penalty. Complete third down.
That's going to go against Zach Pickens. Still third down, about 4 to go.
You know, we talk about how big TJ Finley is. Look at him. All 6, 7 of them getting down there to get the ball. Got to make sure he looks it in first, and don't worry about that defense in the process of it.
Third and 4, Finley into the pocket, puts it up top, contact. Both players fall, incomplete, no flag intended for Johnson.
Woo! No flag right there, huh?
4th down coming up.
A lot of contact. Maybe they're just going to let him play today. Who knows?
Platel in on the coverage of Javarius Johnson. So 4th down coming up, and Oscar Chapman comes into punt for the Auburn Tigers, averaging a little over 46 yards per punt on the season. Josh Vann at about the 6-yard line was where he sets up. Chapman hangs it up high, and a fair catch called at about the 9-yard line. Let's go downstairs.
Like an underdog, if you're a fan and you want to root for an underdog, Jason Brown, South Carolina quarterback, is the guy you want to pull for tonight. He's from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Had no offers. No offers. Ended up playing FCS St. Francis. Anyone know where St. Francis is?
No.
Pennsylvania. Anyone know what their mascot is? The Red Flash. Anyway, he's here at South Carolina. Transfers in as QB3. Zeb Nolan didn't do so well. Luke Doty didn't do so well. Jason Brown got the W against Florida, and this is his 3rd start.
Yeah, Q, he was 12 of 15 against the Gators in that win out of the end zone. Steps up and incomplete at the 45-yard line, intended for Josh Vann, broken up by Jalen Simpson.
Oh, yeah, and you see this straight out of the portal. Both of these quarterbacks, one coming from LSU, the other one coming from St. Francis, as our guy Quint said a little bit ago. And here they are on the big stage in the SEC in a primetime game, having an opportunity to go out and show the world what they can do.
2nd down and 10 coming up. Jason Brown got on the phone with his buddy E.J. Jenkins. Plays on offense for the Gamecocks as well. Nowhere to go. That's Zaquandre Wright. White comes into the ball game, averaging 7 yards per carry. Nothing doing that time, though. Their goal is to get him about 14 touches in the game tonight. Robert, what does that do for their offense?
Oh, it does everything. He's a great runner, right? He's a leading rusher, and he catches the ball extremely low out of the backfield, so that's why they want to make sure they make it a point to get him those touches. But most importantly, they need to move the ball forward. They talked about that. They haven't done that thus far on this drive, sitting here on 3rd and 10.
Little trips right formation at the top of your screen. Brown steps up into the pocket and is sacked back at the 7-yard line by Leota. So it's 4th down, a quick 3 and out for the Gamecocks. They'll be punting out of their own end zone here on 4th down. That's Auburn's 25th sack of the season. Demetrius Robertson back near midfield at about the 47 for Auburn. Roger with the punt out of the end zone. And a fair catch called at about the 49. Good starting field position for the Tigers. When we come back, Quint and Robert will show you what it really looks like when you're dealing with a 6'7" quarterback.
It's your Uncle Cooper. Your SUV is a multi-purpose tool, like these Cooper rugged Treks. And with dual sidewalls, it's like having a multi-tool that can look like a completely different multi-tool. Go with the Coopers.
I'm 6'3", and TJ Finley is 6'7". And in those 4 inches is the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good, he's taller than everybody, so he can see the middle of the field. All those throws are no problem for him. The bad is that he has such a high release point that it's like me throwing down to Quint. He has a penchant for throwing dirt balls, and sometimes he throws it so hard that his receivers can't even catch the ball. Now, the ugly is the fact that he's a bigger guy, he's got longer limbs, he needs better protection, and there's more man to tackle for the defense.
1 yard gain on the play by Bigsby. And how does that play into tonight's game against this South Carolina defense? The whole mechanics and the height and the size.
Yeah, it's just something that he's had to deal with his entire life, right? He's been a tall guy. He knows what it takes to throw the ball down and be accurate. So I just think he has to get into a rhythm. They have to establish this run game to make him more comfortable. He doesn't have to be Superman tonight. He just needs to make the routine plays to let this offense work.
6'7", 250 pounds almost, 8 yard gain on that last pass to Demetrius Robertson. You can also shove shorter defensive linemen too, like he did a moment ago, right?
Exactly right.
3rd down and 1. From in motion, the give is to Tank Bigsby, and Bigsby picks up the 1st down at the 33. Birch making the tackle.
And, you know, talking about him being 6'7" and having such a strong arm, people at home probably wondered, well, does he have to take some off of those passes every now and then? And he does, but it's just about touch, right? When you have such a strong arm, touch is what comes into play when you have these shorter routes, and I think he'll be able to showcase that tonight.
Hands it off to Bigsby again, still keeping those legs moving. Got about 6 on the play. Birch with another tackle. Kaba assisting him. I'm thinking about tall college quarterbacks through the years, and that's kind of a unique set of circumstances that you're dealing with.
It is, and a guy that pops in my head is Brock Osweiler, right? He's the guy that came out with me.
Dan McGuire, San Diego State?
Yeah, but
that's before your time.
Listen, that's way before my time. But TJ Finley is mobile. Do not get it twisted. The guy can move.
Here he is. Downfield, throws a strike, complete to Johnson for the 1st down. That one not too high. Laid it right in there for an 18-yard gain, Robert.
Exactly, and just right there to Javarius Johnson, right, he moves to the right, comes back to the left, and as a big guy, he doesn't have the widest release. He makes a beautiful on-target throw in stride there for Javarius Johnson. Man, oh man, we're going to see more and more throws like that from TJ Finley, and Auburn fans are going to be very happy.
Just under 9 minutes to go in the opening quarter. 2nd possession of the ball game for the Tigers. 1st and goal from the 10. Gets it out quickly, complete. Touchdown Auburn, Robertson. His 4th touchdown reception of the year.
Just a simple play right there by TJ Finley. He operates the RPO so effectively. I went back and watched the tape against LSU, and that's exactly what he did. So here, he's just reading the linebacker, gets the ball out to the receiver, Demetrius Robertson, in time, and allows him to get vertical. It's not quite nobody goes our throws,
right?
But you'll see when we get the replay how he's reading that linebacker. When the linebacker does not attack the pass, he makes the throw. Touchdown, Tigers.
Low snap, they get it down and up and through the uprights. Finley looking very comfortable on that 2nd series. That's his 3rd touchdown pass of the season and the 3rd of his career. Back with more right after this.
It's your Uncle Cooper. Truck owners who run Cooper AT3s are some of the most dutiful people I know. Even if that duty is to haul a load of this stuff. It's not glamorous, but it's their duty nonetheless. So if you and your truck are constantly tackling the regular duties of the day, go with a tire that can handle them all. Oh, man. I stepped in it. Go with the Coopers. Cooper.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by the Eat Fresh Refresh at Subway and in part by Goodyear. Discover the possibilities. Goodyear, more driven.
Some of the culinary delights. The pimento cheeseburger was first constructed in Colombia in 1954. Pimento is often referred to, Robert, as Carolina caviar, and I'm about to go off on some of this. Hang on a second.
Oh, what? Oh, we're going to get this thing going.
Oh, that's better than beluga caviar right there.
Oh, my God.
That's the truth.
Oh, Lord. Help me.
Pimento. I just gave back my 3-mile workout on the treadmill. Wow. We're going dark for the next 2 minutes, folks. 8:44 to go. And that's McDowell on the kickoff return. Quint, that was real good. Real good. Mac and cheese sold separately, Q.
That 3-mile walk he did today. Hey, Robert, asking for a friend. Do you work out today, Robert?
Yes, I did work out today.
I didn't
worked
see him,
out
Q.
today before you, Q.
I didn't see him, Q.
You got to get up early to do that, Robert.
Hey, man.
I'm impressed.
Listen, we got to get it in when we get it in, right? Mm-hmm. That way we can eat cheeseburgers and be happy.
1st and 10 from the 26. White with nowhere to go. Stop up at the line of scrimmage by Hall. Just look at Hall, one of their best pass rushers up front for Auburn. I guess if you were looking for an answer as to whether, Robert, the Tigers were showing any kind of a hangover from last week, the answer so far would be no.
It would be no, but last week they also scored touchdowns on their first 4 possessions. So for them, it's about finishing. For South Carolina, they got to get this run game going for sure.
Brown to pass, a quick slant, complete to Van. Josh Van all the way out to the 45, and he moves the sticks with a first down. 19-yard gain for Josh Van, their leading receiver.
And there's our first time calling Josh Van's name, and they want to call it more often because this guy runs silky smooth routes. He catches the ball, he's competitive, and you see right there he's trying to get vertical and score every single time the ball is in his hands.
Had a 26-yard touchdown reception last week in that loss against Missouri. Team's most productive receiver this year. 7:36 to go here in the first quarter. Brown set in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to Kevin Harris. And Harris with a gain of about 7 on the play.
Oh, wow. A little wildcat action going on. When we talked to offensive coordinator Marcus Satterfield, he said, we got to establish the run. Our best players are our running backs, and we want to make sure we get it going to take some pressure off of Jason Brown. And right there, you saw it early and often. They're going to try to get the ball rolling with Zaquandre White, and then go a little wildcat Kevin Harris.
Harris scored a touchdown, the first one of the game last week in their game in Columbia, Missouri. Play clock down to 6. Got to get to work here. Harris bounces it outside, has the first down and more, and finally pushed out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Kevin Harris looking well here in the early going. 16-yard gain. Well, Tuesday we'll have exclusive reveal of the next college football playoff top 25 rankings. Reese and the guys breaking it down from top to bottom, coaches' reactions, as well as a live interview with committee chair Gary Barta, the University of Iowa AD. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, the app, one tap. From the 32. South Carolina's second possession of the football game. Van in motion. Brown steps up into the pocket, into traffic, and picked off at the goal line. Kaufman was playing center field and still on his feet. Takes it all the way out to the 40-yard line. He was trying to go back to Van again, and Brown threw the interception, Robert.
Oh, no, Jason Brown, what is you doing, baby? Oh, man. He just never saw the safety, and I can't wait to show you guys just how smart of a play Donovan Kaufman made when we get back.
Dude, this thing is awesome. I know. I bought it using the Cash Rewards card from Navy Federal Credit Union. I get cash back on every purchase. Honestly, I can't imagine where I'd be without them. One word. Got it. Reeling in fish. No. Eating fish. Fish in the sea? Movie.
Now earn up to 1.75% cash back on all purchases. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
Circled on the screen was Donovan Kaufman. You're going to see they're going to run a crossing concept with a big post behind it. And Jason Brown does a nice job stepping up in the pocket. And right here, he thinks that Donovan Kaufman is going to be taking the crossing route. But with his body language, he actually just stays there in the middle of the field. Jason Brown doesn't verify that the safety actually took the crosser. And Donovan Kaufman caught the easiest pick he's ever going to catch in his entire life.
And a nice return too, Robert, all the way out to the 39-yard line. First down and 10 for TJ Finley. Couple of fakes and incomplete intended for Shanker. Let's take a look at Roberts' keys to the game.
Yeah, we talk about these keys to the game. We got 6 foot, 7 foot, right? TJ Finley, he's a descendant of Goliath at 6'7", and he has to instill confidence in his team early with his consistent play. Know your role. We got 2 quarterbacks that were not the starters at the beginning of the year. Everyone around them has to play better tonight, and then use it or lose it. The Gamecocks have to use this home field advantage early and often. Otherwise, the crowd will be taken out, and Auburn will walk away with the victory.
On 2nd and 10, he pulls it out in the RPO, throws a dart complete to number 11, Shedrick Jackson, who was working against Cam Smith. You said Finley was a descendant of Goliath. Gotta hope the Gamecocks aren't David tonight.
There you go.
I was sitting on that fastball.
Hey, man.
14-yard gain.
Doing his study, and I love it.
That was a heck of a pass right there into a tight window, Robert.
Yeah, that's, I mean, I'm telling you, this TJ Finley can make any throw out on the field. You saw him miss high earlier in the drive. That's another thing that tall quarterbacks have to worry about, because when they throw level, no one's as tall as them. They tend to miss high as well.
Between the tackles, it's Bigsby again. Pounds ahead for about 3 yards. Webb making the tackle on the play. TJ Finley right here at work.
Right, you see him, he's on the RPO action, and he makes the delivery, and what happens to the ball? Goes a little low. Now what he's doing here is he's trying to protect his receiver across the middle and put it in a place where only he can catch it. So that's the good part of it. He's got to make sure he doesn't put it too low that the receiver doesn't actually have an opportunity to scoop it up.
2nd and 7. Finley surveying. Finds his receiver. Great move in the open field by Jackson. And Jackson picks up another first down. Finally hauled down just outside the 15. And the Tigers move the chains again. Boy, Finley surveyed, went through his progressions nicely here.
Yes, he did. Look at him. Scan from the right of the field to the left. And what he said, they think I can't move. Watch this. He gets out there, gets it to Shedrick. Oh, look at him making him do the cha-cha out there in the open field, getting vertical. Listen. Oh. Man, they're giving us energy up here now, aren't they?
TJ Finley had offers from Alabama, Oregon, went to LSU originally, and had an offer coming out of high school from these Auburn Tigers as well. 1st down and 10. Pulls it out on the RPO. Didn't have enough shake to get loose, and brought down to the 15-yard line by R.J. Roderick.
Listen, I told you TJ Finley can move, but that's a big shake right there, all right? There's a lot more man there to tackle. He's got to make the proper read, right? The defensive end did not go anywhere. He's got to hand that off to the back. Listen, they don't pay these guys.
Right.
This guy's on scholarship because he runs the ball well. Tank Bigsby, give him the ball. Let him go out there and shake those guys.
2nd and 9. You had an NFL flashback. Toss into the boundary. That's Bigsby getting those shoulders north-south. And pushed out of bounds right before the 1st down marker. Setting up a 3rd down and short now for Auburn. Picked up 8 on that run. Bigsby had 16 rushes last week. 41 yards, a couple of touchdowns in that game against Mississippi State. Brian Harsin scheming on the sidelines on 3rd and 1.
I was going to say Mike Bobo is back here. He was the interim coach last year at South Carolina. They said, listen, all week we know we got to be ready for the run. In 3rd and 1, they better be ready for the run in this situation, because Mike Bobo is trying to prove a point tonight.
Big, strong offensive line blocking for Bigsby, trying to get in the end zone. Touchdown, Auburn! They have fired up the tank, and he steamrolls the Gamecock defense.
What vision right there by Tank Bigsby. I'm telling you right now, that run was not designed to go back out to the front side. You see him right here. He comes down. He sees that the defense doesn't have an edge, and he uses his speed and gets to the end zone as fast as possible. That's a moment where you tell the coach, hey, I saw something. Okay? If you do it, you're on your own. He made it right. Coaches are laughing and having a good time.
Sometimes instinct takes over. A low kick goes through. It was tipped. Bigsby with his 10th rushing touchdown of the season, the 15th of his career. He's already got 45 yards rushing. Got a flag down on the field. Let's see what this is about.
offside. Defense number 1. The penalty will be declined. Result of the play, successful 1-point try.
Well, it's 14-0. It's time for a little story time with Robert. Robert, tell us a story.
Listen, the Auburn Tiger fans know last week, first 4 drives, touchdowns. Bo Nix is killing it. They're holding the Mississippi State to nothing. Comes the second half, and oh, man.
There are no birds flying around.
They're doing it again. Hey, just when you thought it was over, we bring it right back. This first half, they're dominating Mississippi State, 28-10. Everyone's feeling good. They're like, all right, we're going to still do this. And then in the second half, Will Rogers explodes. They score 5 touchdowns on their first 5 possessions and end Auburn's chances of winning an SEC West championship. Just very, very demoralizing for them. So I know the fans, the Auburn fans at home are saying to themselves, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Right. It's 14-0, but we've seen this story before, and Coach Harsin and his guys are preaching to their players, just finish. It doesn't matter what the score is right now. It matters what the score is when the zeros are on the clock at the end of the game. We'll see if Auburn Tigers can do it.
Well, under the lights here at Williams-Brice Stadium. Quick 14-0 lead for Auburn. Ryan Harsin's team credo and motto this year, stay in a state of constant improvement. From the goal line, this is Juju McDowell. And he's brought down at the 20-yard line. Let's check in with the studio.
All right, guys, Matt Berry in our studio with our All-State celebration moment. UTSA took the ball down, 7 plays, 77 yards. Final play of the game, they convert for the touchdown to stay unbeaten on the season. What a finish in San Antonio, 34-31. And moments ago, 2-point conversion in overtime for the win for Missouri over Florida. Daniel Parker Jr., ball game. Missouri beats Florida 24-23.
Wow, what a stunning finish there. Joyner looks like in it.
They're putting everybody in that quarterback, right?
Yeah, Joyner there.
Carry on Joyner there, running a little wildcat.
White. Andre Wright in the backfield as well. Jason Brown now back in.
I was going to say,
QB spot.
I know Marcus Satterfield wants to get a spark going because you can just feel it in the stadium right now. There's no energy. They need someone to step up and make a big play to bring this crowd back into it.
Joyner in motion. Brown hands it off to him on the jet sweep. And he kicks in with those turbos and picks up a first down at the 36-yard line. Knight making the tackle on the play on Dakereon Joyner.
And there he is, right on the spot. As soon as we said it, somebody's got to step up and make a play. Dakereon Joyner says, hey, I'll be that guy.
13-yard gain.
You talk about this offense and what they need to do. They need to move the ball forward, protect the football, and score touchdowns. They didn't protect the ball in their last possession. This is a big drive right here for their answer.
Brown, pressure, blitz, sacked. Back at the 28-yard line. They brought some smoke that time. Roger McCreary. Smoke Monday was not one of the guys in on the stop, but he might as well have been.
Hey, every day is Smoke Monday. What you mean? All right. Roger McCreary is one of the best corners in the country. 2 interceptions, 10 PBUs. He sticks to guys like glue. And right there, Jason Brown didn't have a chance. They brought the corner on the blitz. He couldn't spin out of that one, my guy.
Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. 2nd and long, 17 to go. Well, quarterback Jason Brown making his 3rd start for South Carolina. Already he's been sacked twice. Brown in motion, now sets to the top of your screen. Brown steps up, almost falls down, and is brought down at the 27-yard line. Well, winning the line of scrimmage was going to be paramount for the Gamecocks. They told us that, Robert. Right now, Auburn with the early edge.
Yes, they do have the early edge, and defensive coordinator Derek Mason told us on the call it was going to be hunting season today. They were coming after the quarterback. They didn't do that last week against Mississippi State, and he said, look, we're not going to make that same mistake. We're going to make this young quarterback, even though he's a grad transfer, he is young in the SEC, go out and execute and have to beat the blitz. And right now, they are not handling it very well.
There's a look at Vandy, former Vandy head coach Derek Mason. And that's going to be the end of the first 15 minutes of play under the lights here in Columbia, South Carolina. Auburn with an early edge, leading by a couple of touchdowns. South Carolina still thinking about win number 6 when we come back.
Say you're looking for the perfect present. You might try looking at the perfect place. A place with gifts that light up a face, as well as a room. Where it's easy to find the brands they'll love and the advice you trust. That place isn't a warehouse store. That place is your local Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their gifts. This Christmas, wrap it in red at Ace and get free assembly and delivery on grills.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Back here at Williams-Brice Stadium, folks, you're watching the SEC on ESPN. From Willie B, this is ESPN College Football Primetime. Presented by Subway. 3rd down and long coming up for Jason Brown.
Yeah, there's not many 3rd and 19 calls, so expect something real safe here from South Carolina.
Van in motion. He's set to the top of the screen. Brown going to pass here. Steps up and delivers a strike complete to the tight end Nick Muse, but he's still going to end up short by a few yards of the 1st down. So 4th down, and in comes the punt team for the Gamecocks, a 16-yard gain.
Man, when you watch this South Carolina team, Auburn sees, hey, we bring some pressure, they can't handle it. Well, let's bring some more. They can't handle it. Let's bring some more. And if you never show them that you can pick it up, they're just going to keep bringing it.
Nice punt by Kroger. Robertson watches it go over his head, but it's going to stay inside the 10, right around the 5, actually. Nice job by Kroger. 53-yard punt. Well, Bo Nix was injured last week in the 3rd quarter, injured his ankle and had subsequent surgery. As we take a look at tonight's player spotlight, brought to you by Target. And then the subsequent surgery, unable to play. Here's one more look at how it happened. He actually stayed in the game, Robert, a few plays after that.
Yeah, it was just a routine play, routine tackle, and he played well after that. Threw for over 100 yards. He ended that game with a career-high 377 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. And it's just unfortunate for him because he was actually having one of his better years statistically here at Auburn.
Jarquez Hunter in the backfield. Picks up about 3 between the tackles. And, you know, Nix's mom called TJ Finley's mom with the news that the leg was broken. And the two of them are very close. Both families, pardon me, the ankle was broken. The families are very close. And Finley, although sorry for his teammate and his friend, realized that it was time for him to seize the opportunity and capitalize on the opportunity to lead this team moving forward. On 2nd and 7, Hunter again. Brought down by Kamani Staley, picks up 2 on the play. And TJ Finley's dad, David, a loving and doting father, reminded him that it's not just about this year, but it's about the next 2 years. It's a big picture thing for him.
Yeah, it is a big picture thing for TJ Finley. And the thing is, he's been preparing like he's the starter the entire year. So nothing in his routine has actually changed. But now he gets to show the world everything that he has as a starting quarterback.
He's going to be sacked. No, he's not. Houdini comes out of the pack for the 1st down. Excuse me, TJ. A little premature on the call, the 7-yard gain.
You'll see it right here. TJ Finley, he's going through his progression, right? Looking left to right, steps up. Oh, I'm going to run. Nope, they're right there. And then there is more man of him, but guess what? He says, I am mobile. He gets out of there, gets vertical, and gets the 1st down. Big-time conversion for this young man in this Auburn offense.
From the 18. Over the middle, incomplete, intended for Demetrius Robertson. Into traffic, Darius Rush was there in coverage. It'll be 2nd down and 10 coming up.
I'm telling you, that must have been one of those throws where the receiver said, I ain't catching that. You threw that too hard, man.
It was coming in a little bit hot. Finley comes into the ball game with 2 touchdown passes, no interceptions, completing 52% of his tosses on the season. His signature moment was that comeback win against Georgia State. Completes the pass to the edge. This is Johnson. Brought down by Dial. Gain of about 5.
As you look at this last throw that he made, right? He didn't even try to throw that thing. He just flicked it a little bit, and the receiver was like, man, you throwing to me? Well, I didn't know I was supposed to be over there.
They look at you with the side eye coming back to the huddle.
Man, he's like, look, man, I'm coming back to you, bro. You got to throw it that hard.
3rd and 5. Always wondered what that was. Play clock under 10. Finley under duress. Lets it go and incomplete at the 45. Tried to hit Johnson Jr. And the Gamecocks defense gets the stop. Staley and Inekbari with good pressure on the quarterback, TJ Finley. They should get decent field position after this punt.
Yeah, we talked to defensive coordinator Clayton White, and he said he wanted to do the same thing to TJ Finley that Auburn wants to do to Jason Brown. Make him uncomfortable. Show some different coverages. Come after him with a couple blitzes. And as you saw right there, TJ Finley can move. He is mobile, but there's just so much more of him, and he couldn't quite get away from the pressure.
Chapman with the nose of the football down. An end-over-end punt. Comes down to Van with a fair catch at the 33, where it'll be 1st and 10 from there for the Gamecocks offensively.
And you see right here, I'm talking about uncomfortable. They're just around him. He makes the throw, and oh, he's just down there like, I just want to live.
Hey, Tiger fans, football is back, and we are ready. New this season is a more delicious Coke Zero Sugar with a brand new look. So while you're stocking up for the game, look for the QR code on Coca-Cola 12 and 24 packs. Scan the code to play along with the Tigers and win great prizes. Whether you're in the stands, at the tailgate, or in your living room, nothing goes better with football than Coca-Cola and Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Go Tigers.
Matt Berry in our college football studios. Other SEC game in action tonight, Ole Miss Vanderbilt. This was quick for Ole Miss. Jaron Ely gets in for the Rebels. 10-0 first quarter over Vanderbilt.
All right, back here, 1st and 10 from the 33. Kevin Harris in the backfield for the Gamecocks. They run it straight ahead, and a good gain of about 5 for Kevin Harris, the 5'10 junior from Hinesville, Georgia. Harris actually led the SEC, Robert, in rushing in 2020. They go quickly here. Get back to the line. He pounds ahead. Looks like he got a 1st down. Well, coming this week on Sunday NFL Countdown, before Patrick Mahomes and Dak Prescott square off, inside the lines with Cowboys quarterback Wired for Sound. Plus, comedian Kevin Hart joins Sam and the guys live from Philadelphia. Kick off your Sunday with Countdown at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. Brown hands it off to Harris, and he's stopped up. That you talk about Kevin Hart on Countdown. So far, that South Carolina offense is going to learn today.
No, they're going to learn
today.
Now, we talk about physicality in football all the time, and on their first couple offensive possessions, they were not physical at the line of scrimmage. You've seen them be more physical here, moving the ball forward, running it, but right there on that play, Auburn shut it down once again.
2nd and 10, a little blitz coming off the edge, over the middle, complete. Van still on his feet and picks up the 1st down. Josh Van, their leading receiver coming into the ball game tonight.
Yes.
Working against Colby Wooden, picks up 11.
I told you, Josh Van is the matchup guy. They want him to be the 1st or 2nd progression in every single pass play that they have because they can't get it to him enough. And he's smart, too. He hangs up at the facility late at night when the coaches are putting the plays in, telling the offensive coordinator, Marcus Satterfield, hey, am I at Z on this play? He wants the ball, and you saw it right there. He has a nose. He's trying to get in that end zone.
Either that or make the quarterback your best friend, right?
Exactly.
Here's Harris busting through that initial wave. Picks up about 9. Smoke Monday finally making the tackle.
Yeah, I've always thought that if you're a receiver, why wouldn't you have a great relationship with your quarterback,
Sure.
the offensive coordinator, the center, right? Get the ball to the quarterback so he can get me the ball. And I know the guys that I threw the ball to and had the most confidence with were just like Josh Finley.
Harris again picks up the first down. So are you saying that some of your friendships with your receivers were maybe not as authentic as you thought?
Come on,
they had an
Jonesy.
ulterior motive?
I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is we can all eat, baby. There's enough food on the plate for everybody, and I always appreciated it from my receivers because I knew, listen, we're friends, but you also want that ball because you can help me win the football game, and Josh Van's just like one of those guys.
Right now, Joyner is going to set up in the Wildcat on 1st and 10. Keeps it on the option, and a nice gain of about 6 yards. So there's some of the depth that they're showing in their playbook.
Oh, yeah. Maybe the Kerryon Joyner could have pitched that one right there, but I'm not mad at him. Positive yardage is okay. When he turned that thing up, you got to get 4, 5, 6 yards. He did that. Great play by him. And you can tell that the South Carolina Gamecocks are willing to get the ball and move it forward by any means necessary. Wildcat, throw it, run it. They don't care right about now.
Well, Joyner in at quarterback. Lloyd and McDowell beside him. Joyner hands it off this time. Nowhere to go for Juju McDowell. Let's go down to Quint.
Yeah, be careful when Kerryon Joyner's in at quarterback. While it may look like a wildcat, he was a high school quarterback. And, you know, in this league, you know, all defensive coordinators, they go up and down the receivers and the running back list, and they say, was this guy a high school quarterback? So Joyner can throw the ball, but just shows you how creative. South Carolina, they have had to be creative this year to come up with a running game.
I love it, Quint. And they're getting man coverage whenever they do go Wildcat. So maybe you could be onto something, and they might draw up a pass with the Kerryon Joyner. Let him throw a fade right out there.
Well, right now, Jason Brown back in under center. White in the backfield takes the handoff, looking for a seam, and he's going to be short of the first down. 4th and about a long 2 coming up for the Gamecocks. They're looking towards the sidelines, and Shane Beamer contemplating his next move. Do they go for it here, Robert?
Oh, 100%. Shane Beamer is not contemplating his next move as far as do I kick a field goal. He's trying to figure out what's the best offensive play that I have. We're seeing more and more teams go for it on 4th down, so they use that 3rd and 5, really knowing they have 2 downs to get the first down. That's why they handed the ball off to make this a manageable 4th and 3.
White and McDowell in the backfield. Brown in the shotgun. Brown has a man wide open out of the backfield. White on the move. White, dynamite, touchdown, South Carolina.
Zaquandre White sneaks out of the backfield. Jason Brown goes to the line of scrimmage, sees that he's got man coverage, and Zaquandre White shows you exactly why speed in space always wins the race.
Boy, what a call by Marcus Satterfield, the offensive coordinator. A big-time gamble on 4th down pays off with huge dividends. White with his 3rd touchdown catch of the season. South Carolina needed some life, and they got some.
You see it right here. Jason Brown finds him out of the backfield. Zaquandre White getting vertical, trying to get the stadium swaying, because if it ain't swaying, they ain't playing.
Getting your paycheck up to 2 days earlier is another reason banking with Capital One is an even easier decision than this.
Which one are you going to open up first?
Yep, even easier than that. What's in your wallet?
ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Subway, is brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
Boy, you talk about tangible and palpable energy emanating from the some 70,000 here at Williams-Brice Stadium down onto the field for the players to absorb. That's what it feels like here right now. That touchdown brought them to life after that 10-play, 67-yard drive using up 5:06 on the clock.
Oh, it certainly did, because on their first 3 drives, they only had 3 first downs. And on that last drive, 4 of them. And boy, did they bring this crowd back into it.
From 2 yards deep, it's Hunter. Jarquez Hunter took a hit. And there's a flag down at about the 20-yard line. Hunter brought down at about the 26. See what this flag is all about.
Holding on return team number 35. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. First down.
So that's going to pin Brian Harson's team back around the 10-yard line. With 6:07 to go in the first half. And the block is hot. They're alive here at Williams-Brice. Back after this.
Tiger fans, football is back and we are ready. New this season is a more delicious Coke Zero Sugar with a brand new look. Whether you're in the stands, at the tailgate, or in your living room, nothing goes better with football than Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Go Tigers.
ESPN, home of the college football postseason. Welcome home.
Welcome back, everyone, to Columbia, South Carolina. It's 14-7 after that Gamecock touchdown a moment ago. First down and 10, Tank Bigsby in the backfield. Beside quarterback T.J. Finley making his first start. Hands it off at a gain of about 7 for Bigsby. Take one more look. What was the key on this touchdown, Robert?
It's just a classic play. You're going to line up the running back opposite and run him out of the backside flat. And here, number 9, Nick Muse, finds his inspiration. And this is the guy that is in one-on-one with the running back. Picks him just enough. And then there goes Saquandre White down the sideline. As I said, speed and space always wins the race. Beautiful drawn-up play there for South Carolina.
2nd and 4. Hands it off to Bigsby, bouncing it to the outside, picks up the first down, using his blockers well, and puts his head down, gets down to the 36-yard line. You know, T.J. Finley, if he's playing inspired here in the first half, there's a good reason why. He got a phone call earlier this week from none other than Cam Newton. He said that they got on the phone together, they did a devotional, a little prayer. He says that Newton is like a big brother to him. He met Cam initially at a high school 7-on-7 tournament, and he said he stuck out because he was already as tall or taller than Cam Newton at the time. Delivers a strike right there to Johnson, and Johnson picks up about 6 on the play. If you're 6'7", in a 7-on-7 tournament, right, Cam Newton's going to find you.
Oh,
Robert.
He's definitely going to find you. And how much of a little brother is T.J. Finley to Cam Newton, right? He's
figuratively speaking.
Figuratively speaking, but listen, anytime the Heisman Trophy winner from Auburn calls you, you pick up. And when we had our talk with T.J., he was very appreciative of our time and thanked us after the meeting. And I thought that was really cool of him to do. Shows his humbleness.
Great young man with a lot of humility. Completes the pass. Nowhere to go, though, for Johnson Jr. Brought down by Cabo. A loss of 3. You talk about Cam Newton, this kind of a Cam Newton-like maneuverability coming out of the pack of would-be tacklers there, Robert.
Oh, yeah, when you talk about Cam Newton, no one's saying he's Lamar Jackson, right? He's a big physical guy, hard to tackle, so their mobility also comes with their strength. And T.J. Finley showed it off on that play. And right now, 3rd and 8, he's going to have to use that arm, look for them to run some digs deep down the field to get this first down.
There's the completion, but it's short of the first down. Darius rushed close quickly on Shedrick Jackson, and they're going to spot it about a yard shy of the first down. A 7-yard gain brings up a 4th and short, and on comes the punt team for Brian Harsin. Actually, they're going to go for it. Change up a lot of personnel, but it's not the punt team. They're going to go for it here. Do you like it or not, Robert?
Love it. I love it. Listen, SEC football, nighttime game, on the road, why not? Hand it off to that running back and let him go.
They're 11 of 18 on 4th down on the season. Nice fake into traffic, incomplete, and South Carolina will take over on downs. He missed Robertson, who was marked closely by Dial.
They didn't hand it off like I thought they would, but they net a nice play action pass, and you see here, man, TJ Finley just puts too much on it. They're going to run a little play action pass. They're going to bring this guy in motion, set him up there, give him all day to throw, and he's got a matchup right here down the field and just barely misses it. Marcellus Dow told him to call 911 because ain't nobody open over here, buddy.
So with 3:01 to go, South Carolina at the Auburn 35. First down and 10. Quandre White in the backfield. You said you liked the call even though it didn't work there initially, right?
I like the call.
We'll get back to it here in a second. First down and 10. White trying to bounce it outside. Nice straight arm. Not quite Derrick Henry-like, but close enough for an 8-yard gain. Back to the call and the result.
Listen, I like the call to go for it on 4th down, but I do not like the play call that they used. Mike Bobo, I think he overthought it. Okay. Everyone is expecting him to hand that ball off to Tank Bigsby there and to let him try to forward and get a first down. But listen, you got an offensive line that is massive. Lean on those big boys. Tell them that you trust them and let them get the first down for you. You're the more physical team. You're the team that has the bigger guys up front and a great back. Let him run the ball.
Brown hands it off to White again. Got a little bit of room on the right side and chopped down nicely by Jalen Simpson. And good open field tackle. Here's our Week 11 Monday Night Football matchup. Critical one for both teams. Giants, Bucks, 8 Eastern, ESPN Plus, Deportes, the app, one tap. ESPN 2 has Peyton and Eli. Our coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific.
Bucks trying to get back on track, huh?
Yes, sir.
Tom Brady.
We got Joyner now again in at the Wildcat. Quint documented how he used to be a high school quarterback. He's going to keep it and nowhere to go. He'll lose a couple of yards back to the 20-yard line. Walker making the tackle for the Tigers. We're going to take a quick timeout. 1:33 to go. South Carolina on the move.
Tiger fans, football is back and we are ready. New this season is a more delicious Coke Zero Sugar with a brand new look. Whether you're in the stands, at the tailgate, or in your living room, nothing goes better with football than Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Go Tigers.
Halftime report. Bryce Young, another brilliant day for Alabama. Maybe he and C.J. Stroud in a Heisman Trophy race because the Buckeyes were just dominant. Plus, Oregon in some early trouble against Utah. Sam Acho, Joey Galloway join me coming up on a jam-packed Mercedes EQ halftime report.
All right, Matt, back here. South Carolina on the fringe of the red zone. Just outside the 20-yard line. It's 2nd and 12. Use in motion. Run a little counter. Nice move by White. Still going. The pack still moving inside the 5. 1st and goal, Gamecocks. Wow.
Woo, we talk about physicality, right? And the coaches told us during the week that their guys feel confident in what they can do because what they did against Florida and that talented front. And they're saying, look, we're trying to prove that that Florida game was not a fluke. And you see Zaquandre Wright, just look at the balance. And then look at the big fellas running down there, pushing them forward. We don't show those guys enough love, but right now, in these past couple drives, they've been playing way better.
16-yard gain, 1st and goal. E.J. Jenkins in the ball game. White dancing between the tackles. Got about a yard. It'll be 2nd down and goal. White, huge, dynamic, and the goal tonight was about 14 touches. Seems like he's on pace to surpass that already, Robert, on 2nd and goal coming up.
And look at him. You see him on the screen there. He's like, give me the ball some more.
Feed me.
Hey, if he's going to run like that, why not give him 20, 25, 30 touches, as many as he can handle? Because right now, he is the spark for this team.
2nd and goal, and Shane Beamer calls timeout for the Gamecocks.
First timeout this half.
Zaquandre Wright wants the football. And here's another guy a moment ago, Tank Bigsby, shaking his head. A look of frustration etched across his countenance right there as to why maybe he wasn't on the field. Just a guess, honestly. And he didn't get the ball. He appeared to say it's not right.
Yeah, it appeared like he said, I went up to the coach and said, run it. And if you're a running back in that situation on 4th and 1, right, if you don't want the ball in your hands, then you're not a true back. And that look of disappointment shows you just how much this young man wants to win and how much he believes in himself and that offensive line. You got to use those guys in that situation if you're Mike Bobo.
Great issue to have if you want a guy that wants it and not afraid of the moment that big. Meanwhile, White on the sideline, 2nd and goal. Kevin Harris is in for White. Get a whistle down on the field, and looks like Auburn's going to call the timeout.
Their 2nd timeout of the half.
South Carolina with 2 timeouts remaining. Auburn with just 1 timeout remaining. Now, Robert, it almost feels like you look at the score, South Carolina going in for the tie here potentially. It feels like Auburn has a bigger edge than what shows on the scoreboard, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. You know, they were up 14-0, and that lead has kind of evaporated in the blink of an eye.
That 4th down gamble was pivotal, right?
It was pivotal, and in that moment, you're going for it on 4th down in your own territory. So if you don't get it, you're giving the other team a short field, and I think right now they're just a little upset that they didn't get that 1st down.
Folks, this season, along with their contributions to universities' general scholarship funds, for every field goal and extra point made, Allstate will also be donating to the American Red Cross to help with disaster relief efforts. Thank you, Allstate. On a clear and cool Saturday night here under the lights in Columbia, South Carolina, the Gamecocks 2nd and goal after the timeout by Auburn. Kevin Harris in the backfield.
I was going to say, if you're Auburn, sometimes you gamble. It's like being at the casino. It doesn't always work out for you.
You got a fullback in out of the offset eye. Makes the catch and touchdown! And along came Jones, Trey Jones.
Who? Trey Jones? Yeah, baby. We don't really see fullbacks that much in college football. Heck, even in the NFL nowadays. But when we do, they're usually making plays like that. Trey Jones comes up big. Look at him. His jersey doesn't even fit. His biceps are so big. Oh, my Lord.
Let's go down quickly to Quint.
He's normally number 72, but he switches it out for a 44. 2 knee braces. Tell you, this guy played snaps and wins over Florida, and he is in the goal line package. We talked to the coaching staff. He said, should we be ready for 44? They said, yes, you should.
And it is a tie football game, Quint, with 24 seconds to go. You expect maybe the ISO or the lead, Robert, when you bring a fullback in, right?
Yes, but listen. He said, Coach, I can catch 2. Give me the rock, baby. Look at him. He's holding it like a loaf of bread. Right. Oh, my Lord, the pylon cam. Oh, watch out. That's a whole lot of man coming through, baby.
Good boy coming through. Must be jelly because Jam doesn't shake like Jones got there.
Oh, I hear you, Mark Jones. Now, listen, every big man in the country is looking at Trey Jones like, I know you living the life, because they all want to get a little bit of taste of the end zone, and he just did it. Man, that puts a smile on your face.
305 pounds on the reception. Some nimble feet ties the game at 14 apiece. Look at the last couple of drives by the Gamecocks. 16 plays, 102 yards, a couple of touchdowns after stalling out on the first 3 pretty much. And we're tied at 14 in what feels like I said, statistically, and it almost feels like Auburn should be leading by a touchdown or 2.
Yeah, on those first 3 drives, we talked about it. It was almost as if they were going down the court in the basketball court and trying to jack up fadeaway threes and jumpers, and nothing was easy. But on those last 2 drives, they were running the offense, doing the bounce passes with the thumbs down, right? And getting the easy layups, and that's what you want to see as an offense. Things start to come easier for you.
Now back to some fundamentals. 24 seconds to go in the first half. Hunter on the kickoff return for the Tigers. Hunter getting rocked a couple of times shy of the 30-yard line. Zaquandre Wright has been doing a lot of the heavy lifting, rushing the football. Look at those almost Derrick Henry-like stiff arms to ward off would-be tacklers. And then this play here, that 16-yard run, that was the end of it. Kept the pile moving forward, Robert. And can't say enough about the play calling. They said, hey, 14 touches. He's already approached that, or maybe even surpassed it already.
Yeah, and you see his attitude right there. Look, he's the guy that wants the ball, and they've been riding this man like the magical school bus.
Right.
They've just been giving it to him every chance they get, throw in, run, or whatever type of way, because he's a dynamic playmaker, and he has that will to win.
And we got a flag down. Looks like there was some motion up front.
Play of game on the defense. Disconcerting signals, number 1. 5-yard penalty. It's 1 first down.
Wow. Disconcerting signals.
Was he throwing up gang signs?
I don't know what that was. Little disbelief. Enigbari there. JJ.
I was going to say, maybe he was up at the line trying to give the fake snap counts here or there. But
what does that sound like? What does that look like when they do that to you?
Go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know.
Wow. 1st and 5 for Finley. Takes out his do-it-yourself kit and gets out of bounds with about 10 seconds to go. Picks up the first down at the 43. Finley making his first start for the Auburn Tigers this year. Picks up 9 on that run.
Obviously not much time on the clock. Got to get a big completion if you're trying to get in the field goal range, or get a couple more yards and maybe take a Hail Mary shot to the end zone.
Finds his man underneath. That's Bigsby. Tank getting a touch here, breaks a tackle and into field goal range, but time has run out on the clock. And that'll do it for the first half of play. Big time rally by the Gamecocks in the second quarter to knock the game at 14 apiece as South Carolina looks for that precious and valuable 6th win to become bowl eligible. Let's go back to the studio.
Okay, Mark Jones, thank you. Mercedes EQ.
This is ESPN College Football Primetime presented by Subway. Folks, you're watching the SEC on ESPN on the Saturday before Thanksgiving. It's tied at 14 at halftime. And Robert, your keys to the game coming to fruition right now. Let's take a look back.
Yes, when we talk about those threes, keys, 6 foot, 7 foot, TJ Finley in Auburn started fast. He used his size, his ability to process and see the field to put points on the board. And we talked about knowing your role. And Trey Jones, number 44, the big offensive lineman playing fullback, he knew it well and executed on this touchdown pass. And then we talked about use it or lose it, and Zaquandre White got the crowd back into the game. Williams-Brice Stadium was swaying. The coach is excited. The fans got the towels rocking. And boy, it's swaying and they playing. We're tied up and we got ourselves a ball game here in the second half. Don't you dare change that channel.
South Carolina's going to have the football to start the third quarter here. Goes out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 35.
Kick out of bounds, number 96. Receivers have elected to ball and play at the 35-yard line. First down.
Let's check out first half stats brought to you by PlayStation. Some of the cogent and pertinent numbers on the night so far. Auburn with 2 touchdowns, first 3 drives, and then South Carolina with a late rally in the second quarter. Jason Brown has thrown 2 touchdowns in just 6 pass attempts.
Yes, and he's really made up for that interception he threw earlier in the game. And that 4th and 1 decision to go for it in your own territory really hurt Auburn there at the end of the half, and that's why this game is tied now.
Brown under center on 1st down and 10. White, great patience, pulls it back and picks up about 7 yards on 1st down. They talked about getting him about 14 touches for the game, and that was his 10th of the night. And what do you make of the game plan so far for South Carolina offensively?
Yeah, I think early on in the game that they didn't really know what their identity was going to be or what their plan was, but over the last couple drives, we saw them find that identity, and it starts with Zakondre White. He is balling out right now. Just keep feeding this man the rock. He's hungry.
They've thrown in just enough changeup and wildcat, and they pick up the 1st down here on a tough run. Check that. No, it's not. It's White short of the 1st down. Got 2. Let's go down to Quinn.
The difference in that second quarter, according to Shane Beamer, was their quarterback making some checks at the line of scrimmage in the run game. He said they made some individual blocking errors and bad checks in the first quarter. Said they smoothed things out in the second quarter, and that's why the running game seemed to perk in the last 15 minutes. He thinks this game ultimately is an O-line, D-line game. That's who decides it.
3rd down and a short 2 to go. Straight ahead. White nowhere to go. Got stopped. The impervious Tiger defense gets the win on that sequence. Marcus Harris and Cam Riley teaming up, and Smoke Monday with a little help as well. What did you make of Coach Beamer's assessment of the 1st and 2nd quarter and the contrast?
Yeah, I actually love the fact that he came out and said that it was the quarterback making the checks at the line. Just shows you a lot of growth and developments from Jason Brown. But he's 100% correct. It is going to be an O-line, D-line game. You have to win in the trenches this late in the season to give your team a chance to win.
Kroger with the punt. Bounces at the 19. And Robertson brought down immediately. Well, here's next week's NBA Wednesday double dip for you, starting in Boston, 7:30 with the Nets. Brooklyn taking on Boston. Then the Warriors, who are red hot right now, taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. Coverage starts with NBA Countdown at 7 Eastern. You know, you and I could team up in the backcourt, man. You listen with me coming off screens, doing my Steph Curry, and you just feeding me.
Oh, just me feeding you?
Yeah,
okay, I got you. I see how that works, man. All right, you must be Kobe Bryant with the rock. You ain't passing to nobody.
Tank Bigsby in on 1st down from the 17. Couple of receivers into the boundary. Shanker, the tight end. Finley pulls it out, fires a little bit low, intended for Johnson. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And there goes that dirt ball we talked about with that high release, having to throw down to receivers, 4 to 7 inches shorter than you. He's got Johnson there on the sideline, and yeah, just threw it at his ankles.
This time he completes it to Shedrick Jackson, and Jackson picks up about 7. It'll be 3rd down, about 3 to go. Talked about TJ Finley's dad a little bit earlier. David says, every time you take the field, son, remember that you're auditioning for a next level job. Discerning eyes on the quarterback tonight. 11 to 19 overall passing. 3rd down and 3 coming up. Hunter picks up the 1st down, and there's going to be a face mask.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a face mask.
Wow. Brad Johnson, number 49, looked like he had a handful of face mask on the 6-yard gain. They'll tack a few more yards onto this.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 19. 15-yard penalty for the end of the run. Automatic first down.
That was an easy one.
It was an easy one. You know, some of these face masks are 15-yard penalties, but he grabbed that one and held on to it. Maybe that should have been a 30-yard penalty. Because I know my guy, Jarquez Hunter, his neck is going to be hurting tomorrow after that one.
Moves the ball out to the 45. There's a look at the penalty situation. Bigsby in the backfield. Little pressure off the edge. Finley got it off in time. Up for grabs and incomplete. And let's go down to Quint for Coach Harson's comments.
Well, there's been a steady diet of Hootie and the Blowfish. Coach Harson went old school. He went Guns N' Roses. Just a little patience. You need patience with the run game. And he thinks that can set up some shots like we just saw. It comes down to the safeties. You win with the run game, the extra safeties in the box. You get man-to-man on the outside. Stay patient with the run game.
Q always with the musical references. Gotta love it. Bigsby straight ahead. Bigsby on his feet, and he stepped out of bounds. But it's going to be a nice first down run by Tank Bigsby to move the chains again. Put a nice move on R.J. Roderick to pick up 29 yards.
And you know, our guy Quint right on the sideline talks about being patient with the run game. And Tank Bigsby right here is running angry because they didn't give him the ball on that 4th and 1 at the end of the half. He's letting them know, look, this is what I can do. Yes, he steps out of bounds there, but this Tank is trying to put some stank on some of these runs.
12 rushes, 90 yards. You can smell what he's cooking right now. This time brought down early by Jabari Ellis. Good play by the good defensive tackle. 6'3", 278 out of Vance, South Carolina. No gain on the play.
Oh, man. You having fun, Mark?
Too much.
I'm having fun, man. This is
It's not even fair.
It's college football, right? Got 70,000 in here. SEC football.
SEC at night's kind of special, isn't it?
At night, man. It's incredible. It's having a lot of fun. Hope everybody else is as well.
Second and 10 from the 26. Finley with a check. Play clock down to 5. Taking a shot on the slant. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted by Spalding. But there's a flag down on the play.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense number 47. Number 47 was covered up by an eligible receiver. Therefore, he was not allowed to go downfield. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
So there you go. Wasn't covered. 10:09 to go in the third quarter. Ball back at the 31.
That's just another example of knowing your role, right? You got to line up. Alignment, assignment. Wasn't a great throw there by T.J. Finley. He tried to squeeze one in there that he shouldn't have, but can't hurt your team by making penalties.
Finley pressure, got it, rid of it just in time. And nowhere to go. Good catch by Hunter, but was met immediately for a 1-yard gain. But big time heat by Iyegbari. JJ was coming like a missile.
Oh, yeah. JJ the jet plane, they call him. He said, you can't block me. You got a little one-on-one crime there, too, man.
3rd and 14 from the 30.
It's 3rd and 14. You have to wonder if not having your kicker, Carlson, affects your play calling here. Do you try to get half these yards back and go for it on 4th down as well in your own in enemy territory?
Out of the backfield, complete. Nice run by Shivers. Got a good chunk of that, but not enough for the first down. And Let's see, an interesting decision on 4th down on the 10-yard pickup. In comes the field goal unit. Ben Patton is the new place kicker this week because Anders Carlson suffered a season-ending injury last week in that loss against Mississippi State. So this one will be from about 37 yards out.
First time someone not named Carlson is kicking since, I believe, 2014.
That's part of the family business at Auburn. Good snap. They get it down, and hey, no problem for Ben Patton. Good from 37 to give Auburn a 3-point lead with 8:40 to go here in Columbia. Back after this.
It's your Uncle Cooper. Your SUV is a multi-purpose tool, like a corkscrew fish scaler. And that means your tires should be multi-purpose too. Like these Cooper rugged Treks. They're tough, but also run smooth as butter. And with dual sidewalls, it's like having a multi-tool that can look like a completely different multi-tool. Don't take that idea, by the way. I'm gonna patent it. Go with the Coopers. Cooper.
Great guest list for the Mannings tonight.
You've reached Peyton and Eli. Leave a message.
This is Liam Neeson. I have a very particular set of skills, none of which involves watching game film. Watch Peyton and Eli. You never know who will drop by.
Back in Columbia, South Carolina, Mark Jones chopping it up with Robert Griffin III. Quinn Kesnick down on the field on a Saturday night here in Columbia, South Carolina. Gamecocks trailing by a field goal with 8:40 to go as Auburn tries to snap its 2-game losing streak. From the 10, this is McDowell. Finds a crease and takes it across the 30 to the 33. Well, Taco Bell welcomes you to the Live Más Student Section of the Year contest. Use hashtag Student Section Sauce to get the committee's attention and go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete. You know, I used to be big with those Corntrap Supremes at Taco Bell.
Oh, really?
And then I went to my Robert Griffin shred program.
Oh, man, listen. I was a chalupa guy. Quiero Taco Bell, you know?
Kevin Harris in the backfield on 1st down and 10 from the 33. And nowhere to go. Men in the backfield. Good convergence there, led by Zacoby McClain, one of their big playmakers defensively. They'll shut off their water on that play on 1st down. Ball back at the 32.
You know, they say Zacoby McClain likes football more than Ray Lewis.
Wow.
And Ray Lewis likes football a lot, so that's a big statement, but his nickname is Ricochet Rabbit. I know you know that. I don't know what that is.
2nd and 11. Yeah, I'm a little older than you. Okay. Little blitz off the edge. Picked up, and Zakondre White made a great move. Cuts it back. On the loose. White finally knocked out of bounds inside the 30 by McCreary. But a big-time catch and run, and a missed tackle by McClain adds up to a 40-yard gain. Man, what a play.
Yes, it was, and you see why they want to get the ball to Zakondre White. Here he is. Little look off by the quarterback, hits him on the right, and what's he do? He says, I'm going to cut back across the field using his playmaking ability, vision, strength. Get off me. Look at him. Guy doesn't even go down. It's just a talented player, and South Carolina is finding more and more creative ways to get him the ball.
On the reverse, Auburn was sitting on it. Josh Vann trying to make lemonade out of lemons here, and he does. Might be a late hit. There's a flag thrown on Jalen Simpson. Got him up high, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely going to be a late hit flag there. And we're starting to see things pop up that popped up for Auburn last week when they had that massive collapse in the second half.
Looks like he gave him a little chin check here.
Personal foul, defense number 36. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic 1st down.
There it is, right there.
Yeah, that's the 8th penalty.
And you see what I'm talking about, these little things. They had untimely penalties against Mississippi State that extended drives. They had missed tackles that led to explosive plays, and both of those things have happened here on this drive.
Trey Jones is in the ballgame.
Oh.
There he is, number 44. Remember, he caught a touchdown last time he came onto the field on offense.
He don't even know how to get in the right stance right now.
He goes out as a receiver, but they come underneath instead to White, and he's chopped down. Good tackle by Simpson right around the 10-yard line.
That's the second time Jalen Simpson has just cut down Zaquandre White out in the open field. Anytime you see a receiver catch the ball, right, and you see him get cut down, and he got those arms going on. We call those the oh no arms, right? You absolutely know he's doing a great job tackling. So Jalen Simpson, in a moment in the goal line, right in the red zone where they need stops, that's a big time tackle on one of the best players South Carolina has.
Second and goal. Harris in the backfield. It's going to be Harris. Tries to hit the edge and brought down after a 2-yard gain. Third and goal. What do you like coming up here? What call works for South Carolina?
Well, I know when we talked to Marcus Satterfield this week, he said he wanted to throw the ball to get into the red zone and then run it in. But it's third and goal, right? Really far out. You got to have a really nice passing concept here. Look for them to try to work Josh Vann if he is in the game, number 6, because I don't see them trying to run this in from this far out on third and goal.
They got a bunch formation out to the left.
Josh Vann right here.
Pulls it out in the RPO. Brown on the move into the end zone. Touchdown! Vann is the man! And the Gamecocks take the lead.
And there it is. Josh Vann, remember the name, because that man's got game. He is their guy. They want to get him the ball. They bring him in the bunch, make it look like he's going to block, and then sprint him out. And he says, listen, Jalen Simpson, you've been knocking my guy Zaquandre White down. Now you got to cover, baby. I'm the man. Give me the ball. Oh, my goodness, Josh Vann. Wow. We got us a game here, fellas.
His 5th touchdown catch of the season. Josh Vann has made so many memorable catches this year for the Gamecocks. Had that big one earlier this year against Georgia, so much so that he got a pair of gloves sent to him from none other than Randy Moss. When you get mossed by Randy, you're doing something. Use it or lose it time. Back after this.
Say you're looking for the perfect present. You might try looking at the perfect place. A place with gifts that light up a face, as well as a room. Where it's easy to find the brands they'll love and the advice you trust. That place isn't a warehouse store. That place is your local Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their gifts. This Christmas, wrap it in red at Ace and get free assembly and delivery on grills.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Subway, is brought to you by the Subaru Share the Love event, now through January 3rd.
You see the signage, right, all over town here in Columbia. The abbreviation for Columbia used to be COLA, and that's why locals called it Cola City, not to be confused with the fact that all soft drinks in Columbia are also referred to as colas. Whether it's Sprite, 7-Up, orange soda, it's cola.
Okay.
Cola. Hook me up with a cola there, Robert.
Yeah, I don't know what you want because they're all called colas.
Under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Boy, Jason Brown has 3 touchdown passes in his last 5 attempts as Carolina has surged ahead, and those second half ills are beginning to emerge a little bit for the Tigers. More on that when we come back.
Say you're looking for the perfect present. You might try looking at the perfect place. A place with gifts that light up a face, as well as a room. Where it's easy to find the brands they'll love and the advice you trust. That place isn't a warehouse store. That place is your local Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their gifts. This Christmas, wrap it in red at Ace and get free assembly and delivery on grills.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
In our college football studio with our AT&T countdown to the CFP championship update. It is getting late early in Salt Lake. Britton Covey punt return, and look at this score. It is all Utes at the half. 28-0 over Oregon.
Wow. Tank Bigsby into the boundary. Picks up about 3. Robert, what do you make of Oregon getting dragged so far? Cincinnati, do they move up finally? There seems to be a wall right there at the number 4 spot for the Bearcats.
It does seem like there's a wall right there for the Bearcats, right? But if Oregon goes down to Utah, you have to move Cincinnati up. You can't have Michigan jump them. Michigan State just lost. Don't even talk to me about Notre Dame. Okay, Cincinnati just keeps winning. They just beat an 8-2 SMU team.
Impressively.
Impressively. Why wouldn't you move them up? People have to stop hating on the non-Power 5 group schools.
There it is. Church. 2nd and 7. Finley delivers a strike complete to Shedrick Jackson for the first down. Picks up 8 on the play.
You know, Jonesy, I was going to say, it's all those people out there, right, who've been working their tail off.
Right.
Trying to get that promotion, right? Trying to go out there and get the job done and let them know that they can do it. And they just constantly get overlooked.
You talking about Cincinnati?
That's Cincinnati. Cincinnati just keeps getting overlooked no matter how much they win and how good they look.
Finley on the out pattern, knocked away. Good defense by Dial. It was intended for Fromm. And 2nd and 10 coming up. I would agree with you. If Cincinnati doesn't get a top 4 spot. But, hey, listen, you made a visit down to the committee down there in Texas and spent a couple of days with them, went through a mock scenario where those are your friends.
Listen, man, they're not my friends. But I had to woo-saw the whole time I was down there because it was frustrating the way that they go through that process. And it just showed me that they need to expand the playoff immediately.
2nd and 10, boy, Tank used a straight arm and threw off a defender, R.J. Roderick. Just planted some carrots right there. I mean, he threw him off him.
Yes, he did. And this is exactly what Auburn needs to do. This game will be won in the trenches. We were talking during the break to our guy, Quint, on the sidelines, and he talked to Coach Harsin, and he said, listen, we got to run the ball and take some shots down the field when they present themselves. And I think if they continue to do that, realize they're only down by 4. The game's not over. You can have your whole playbook out there. Just stick to the plan and execute better.
Bigsby picks up the first down on the quarterback sneak. Pardon me, Finley picked up the first down. I alluded to it before we went to break. Auburn has had some cataclysmic second halves, some catastrophic collapses in several games this year in the second half. And that trend is beginning to go that way again here. Bigsby trying to stop the hemorrhaging, turns it up, and finally pushed out of bounds. But Tank Bigsby made Roderick miss a tackle and got a few extra yards to pick up 31 in all. Under 3 minutes to go here in the third. Auburn moving the ball down to the field here, Robert.
My, oh my, Tank Bigsby. But there he is again, just racking up plays like your favorite song on repeat. This man is running with a vengeance. And if I'm Auburn, I continue to just feed him the rock. Feed him the rock while he's hot.
Finley hands it off to Bigsby again, this time hit right away by Roderick. This time Roderick didn't miss the tackle. So you're not going to miss me with that. And, you know, interesting relationship between Bigsby and quarterback TJ Finley. Bigsby was in South Florida working out during the summer of 2020 when he heard that TJ Finley had entered the transfer portal from LSU, and he found out that Finley was actually in South Florida as well. Asked him to work out. That pass incomplete. They got together and worked out, and the chemistry, the bond, the friendship was formed. Finley subsequently decided that he was going to come to Auburn, and those two have a great connection on and off the football field as a result. 3rd and 8 coming up. Bigsby right now on the sidelines. Will he come in here on 3rd down? Doesn't look like it.
This is where they miss Kobe Hudson the most. 3rd and 8. he would be the guy that they call, but he's not playing today. So somebody else has to step up from this receiving core and look for it to be number 11, Shedrick Jackson, or number 0, Demetrius Robertson.
Blitz coming. Finley sacked. Back at the 36. He never got a chance. Brad Johnson, the first one to arrive.
Oh, man, TJ Finley never got a chance to see, but he had a wide open wide receiver on a corner route. If his line could have just given him a little bit more time. But as we talked about, when you're 6'7", you need more space to operate. And right there, he didn't have the time or the space.
22nd sack of the season for South Carolina. 4th and 16. Finley staying on the field. They've got to get to the 20 for the first down. Finley over the middle. Got it! Caught. What a catch off a dime to Jackson. He was working against Marcellus Style to pick up 18. Man, what a frozen rope that melted in the arms of his receiver.
Holy cow, did you see that throw? I don't think you did, because it was moving at light speed. He throws it in there to Shedrick Jackson. He dropped back, saw the coverage, the safety went away, knew he had one-on-one with the corner, hit him right in stride. Big time throw by TJ Finley.
Hands it off to Bigsby. Between the tackles, 1st and goal. After that run, Foster might have saved a touchdown with that tackle.
Tell you what, Finley looked a little bit like Cam Newton on that throw. Just a little bit.
He did.
Just a little bit.
And I don't just
They're buddies.
They are buddies, but the delivery looked very similar.
Bigsby again. This time stopped up by Damani Staley. It'll be 2nd down and goal for Auburn. 21 seconds to go, the clock running. Both teams with their full complement of timeouts remaining. Expected crowd of about 70,000 here at Williams-Brice Stadium. And that might do it for the end of the first 45 minutes. 13th play of the drive coming up when we begin the 4th and final quarter. 4 fingers to the air. One more win potentially makes them bowl eligible. Can Finley end that 2-game drought for the Tigers? All those questions answered on the other side of this.
Hey Tiger fans, football is back and we are ready. New this season is a more delicious Coke Zero Sugar with a brand new look. So while you're stocking up for the game, look for the QR code on Coca-Cola 12 and 24 packs. Scan the code to play along with the Tigers and win great prizes. Whether you're in the stands, at the tailgate, or in your living room, nothing goes better with football than Coca-Cola and Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Go Tigers.
Butterflies fly. Got a bee sting and an eagle's sight. Got a will to win and the strength of 10.
The SEC at night, folks. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. South Carolina leading 21-17 as we begin the 4th quarter. Play Auburn threatening on 2nd and goal. Finley lost the ball, and it'll be 3rd and goal back at the 8-yard line on that miscue. Boy, a inauspicious beginning to start the final 15 minutes here.
Yeah, and that's the 2nd time we've seen the big 6'7" quarterback drop the ball, just trying to go too quickly through the play.
Centers have to adjust their snap for a tall quarterback like that?
A little bit. You know, maybe he can get a little more bend in the knees there, but it's obvious that catching the snap is something that he needs to focus on for the rest of this game.
3rd and goal. No Kobe Hudson this week. Finley, incomplete at the 4-yard line. Intended for Johnson. 4th and goal, and then in comes the field goal unit, led by Ben Patton. So they drive it all the way down inside the 10-yard line, and here comes Ben Patton. Anders Carlson, of course, injured, season-ending injury last week. And Patton trying to make this a one-point football game, attempting this field goal from 25 yards out. And Harsin likes trick plays, but not this time. And he misses. He shanked it. Ben Patton from 25 yards out. An extremely makeable field goal attempt. He pulls it to the left by a lot.
Say you're looking for the perfect present. You might try looking at the perfect place. A place with gifts that light up a face as well as a room. Where it's easy to find the brands they'll love and the advice you trust. That place isn't a warehouse store. That place is your local Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their gifts. This Christmas, wrap it in red at Ace and get free assembly and delivery on grills.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
First down and 10 for South Carolina from their own 20. First possession of the fourth quarter. Hand off to White, who's got about 6 yards. Under the lights at Williams-Brice Stadium in Columbia, South Carolina. Folks, you're watching the SEC on ESPN. And at this time, want to send a shout out to Shelley Poe, Sports Information Director of Auburn University, a longtime fixture on the college basketball, college football landscape, one of the best to ever do it in the business. She's not with us today, but we want to send out prayers of comfort and serenity for her today.
Praying for you, Shelley.
White breaks one off the right side. Got a nice block downfield. And he runs out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Josh Vann, Robert, wide receiver, was blocking well downfield for him. 33-yard gain.
Zaquandre White, you keep hearing the name. This man can play. And Josh Vann, their best wide receiver, is downfield blocking. That's how you get a coach's attention. Look at him. He just keeps fighting to give him some extra yardage. Only he could have held on just a little longer. Maybe Zaquandre White could have took that to the house.
For the South Carolina offense, when you look at the fact that Jason Brown has only thrown 11 passes, he's completed 9, 3 touchdown tosses, extremely efficient. They lead by 4.
This is exactly what they want, though. This is exactly the type of offensive scheme they want. It's what they did against Florida.
South Carolina. First time out this half.
Gamecocks use their first of 3. We'll take a timeout with them and come right back after this.
Hey, Tiger fans, football is back and we are ready. New this season is a more delicious Coke Zero Sugar with a brand new look. So while you're stocking up for the game, look for the QR code on Coca-Cola 12 and 24 packs. Scan the code to play along with the Tigers and win great prizes. Whether you're in the stands, at the tailgate, or in your living room, nothing goes better with football than Coca-Cola and Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Go Tigers.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by the Eat Fresh Refresh at Subway and in part by Lexus. Experience amazing.
Some of the great retired numbers here at South Carolina, just 4 of them. Sterling Sharp, Steve Wadiak, George Rogers, and Mike Johnson. Boy, George Rogers is a guy that in particular sticks out in my mind. Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah.
1980, part of your club.
I'm part of his club. What you mean?
Hey, you're right. You got me on that one.
I had a blessed time meeting him at the Heisman ceremony, and he's anybody who knows him and sees him is a very happy-go-lucky guy.
From the 41. White was met early. Falls forward for a gain of maybe a yard on the play. Robert, tell me about the line of scrimmage battle and what you see so far.
Yeah, this game has turned out to be much more of a battle than I think Auburn thought it would be. They thought they had the advantage
early, right?
Early in the game, and it's kind of worked its way out to where now you almost got a competition between these offensive lines and defensive lines. And, Zaquandre White's out there trying to show Bigsby that anything he can do better.
Brown in motion, sets to the right. Brown over the middle, incomplete. Led his receiver a little too much. That was Brown, who came across the formation. It'll be 3rd down and 9. You know, Jason Brown is a guy that has kept his poise in some of the crucial situations this year. In fact, in that game against Florida, when he led the team to the comeback win, during one of the tense moments, he went over to Coach Beamer and said, "Hey, Coach, you good?" Yeah. And Coach Beamer was like, "Am I good? Are you good?"
Exactly. You know, and Jason Brown's just been that guy. Cool, calm, collective. Right there on that play, he was going to throw his receiver into some trouble, and that's why the receiver kind of alligator armed it. But he has been a steadying presence for them at the quarterback position the last few weeks.
3rd and 9, a little pressure coming. Steps up, and Brown was brought down at about the 44. Derek Hall, the best pass rusher on that Tigers defense, made the tackle to set up a 4th down back at the 44.
Yeah, and once again, we talk about that line play, right? And who's going to win. And our guy Quint was telling us that Shane Beamer said whoever wins the line of scrimmage is going to win this game in the 4th quarter. And right there, Jason Brown stepped up like they've been trying to work on him to do, but he stepped up right into pressure, and Derek Hall was right there to get the sack.
Kroger punting from his own 46. Bounces inside the 5. They couldn't down it, though, on the 44-yard punt. Let's go down to Quint for more on Coach Beamer.
Well, Shane Beamer was raised in Blacksburg, Virginia. His dad, the longtime coach, Frank Beamer, at Virginia Tech. And so when Justin Fuente was let go last week, there were rumors, people thinking that Shane Beamer would be targeted for that job. He said, the Virginia Tech job it's not an issue. I want to make my legacy here. I want to make a legacy of my own here. Yes, I love Blacksburg. I have great memories there, but this is where I want to be. When he was introduced as a head coach, they put up a big banners around here. Welcome home. This is where he and his wife had their children, and this is where he wants to build the program. He reiterated to us that his focus and his love is right here in Columbia.
Here comes the tank. Broke a couple of tackles. They got him by the shirt tail, but he's still going to pick up about 13 yards. Yeah, Coach Beamer was very authentic when he told us in our meeting that, you know, I love what my dad did at Virginia Tech, but to paraphrase, I want to make my own footprints in the sand.
100%.
Here in Columbia, South Carolina.
100%, and both you and Quinn are right. He said, you know what? Honestly, I would be a fraud if I left at this point, because he's such a relationship guy. He doesn't want to burn those relationships with his players and his coaches.
Bigsby again pounding away. Got about 9. Jalen Foster made the tackle. 10.5 to go here in the 4th quarter.
I was going to say, while we're sitting here talking about Shane Beamer, Tank Bigsby's down there showing exactly why they call him Tank.
Yeah.
I mean, he's out there carrying guys. South Carolina better find a tank buster real quick. Otherwise, he's going to keep chewing up the yardage.
Bigsby was a major target of South Carolina's recruiting before choosing to go to Auburn a couple of years ago. Out of LaGrange, Georgia. Hunter picked up about 4 on the play. That Auburn offensive line with a couple of changes in there this week as Manning moved from the backup right guard position to starting left guard. Zierer moved into the starter at left tackle. But so far they seem to be working, at least on this drive, in perfect concert in unison, moving the football on the ground, Robert.
Yeah, I was going to say number 56, Tayshawn Manning. Is that Peyton Manning's brother from another mother?
Let's watch him throw if he gets a chance. Finley looking to throw, got rid of it quick, incomplete, fired high for Robertson. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Well, it's the story of the 1957 Auburn National Championship football team, and the dark secret that running back Bobby Hopp kept for more than 30 years. Bobby Hoppe kept that secret for 30 years. SEC storied film, The Trials of Bobby Hoppe premieres Thursday, December 2nd, 7 Eastern on SEC Network and the ESPN app. Bigsby. What about 4?
Yeah, get the sense that Auburn's offense right now with Mike Bobo is trying to enforce their will on South Carolina. You've seen a ton of runs. They're chewing up yards, moving down the field, taking a little bit of pressure off of TJ Finley. But they're going to need TJ Finley to make those big-time throws, like right now, on 3rd down, to keep drives rolling so they can continue to just lean on this South Carolina defensive line with their massive offensive line.
Bigsby has 164 yards rushing on 22 carries. Getting a breather on this play. 3rd and 7. Finley on the out pattern. Nicely batted away. Boy, great defense by Platel. Man, what a play.
Listen, hey, these South Carolina Gamecocks are playing defense. You see Platel right here. He's in good coverage. Yeah, a little grabby, but he gets his eyes back in his hands to knock the ball down. And listen, the refs all day have been giving them opportunities to play physical, and these South Carolina Gamecock DBs are taking full advantage of that.
Oscar Chapman punts from his 40. A high end-over-end punt that comes down to the 15-yard line to Josh Vann. About 84 yards away. Can South Carolina close this out with the lead when we come back?
Hey, Tiger fans, football is back and we are ready. New this season is a more delicious Coke Zero Sugar with a brand new look. So while you're stocking up for the game, look for the QR code on Coca-Cola 12 and 24 packs. Scan the code to play along with the Tigers and win great prizes. Whether you're in the stands, at the tailgate, or in your living room, nothing goes better with football than Coca-Cola and Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Go Tigers.
Welcome to SEC Nation.
It feels great because we're home.
From SEC Nation, we're coming your way right now.
Under the lights in Williams-Brice Stadium here in Columbia, South Carolina. Gamecocks with the football. 1st and 10 from their own 15. Looking for their 6th win of the season and bowl eligibility. White trying to bounce it outside. Not enough burst to get to the edge, but did get a few. Picked up about 4 on the play. Sets up a 2nd down and 6. Will Finley get another opportunity, and what will the score be if and when he gets the football back? 8 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I know if you're South Carolina right now, you're just trying to get 1 or 2 first downs and really put the pressure on Auburn defensively to make plays to get stops and limit the amount of time that their offense has to try to go and win this game.
They can afford to be very methodical. Use up some time on the play clock. They snap it at 5 seconds to go. Brown gets out of the pocket, fires. Caught! Wow, Leggett! He caught it, and he landed hard. Shaken up. Had to wait and see if the official ruled it a catch or not, but he slammed hard to the turf.
Ooh. Oh, man. Watch him right here.
Xavier Leggett.
Xavier Leggett is legit. Oh, but you see that right there. His head bouncing off the ground. I can tell you right there, I've been in that situation before, and he is not feeling good right about now.
He's a little bit wobbly. Let's check in with the studio.
All right, guys, checking in on the Big 12. Oklahoma already in with the win. Oklahoma State has Texas Tech. Spencer Sanders to J.P. Richardson for the touchdown. Pokes up 13-0 at the half over Texas Tech.
Boy, McGenna from in South Carolina still maybe a little wobbly, going to be checked out by the athletic training staff. One more look at it here. Went up high to make the catch. Big target at about 6'2", and his head slamming on the turf.
I can tell you by the way he was running to the sideline, they're obviously going to check him for a concussion, putting him in that tent. But it looked like he might have done something to his back as well.
Picked up 20. Here's Brown. Pressure coming off the edge, taking a shot downfield. And incomplete at the 20-yard line. Tried to hit E.J. Jenkins, who coincidentally is his former teammate at tiny Division III St. Francis that Quint reported a little bit earlier. Those two guys transferred in as a package deal.
Yeah, and listen, Quint talked about it, but these two guys also went to high school together. They were from high school. Both of them weren't recruited. Both went to St. Francis. Both left St. Francis to come here to South Carolina. And it's a very, very interesting story. I know he wished he could have that one back. He'd love to hit his buddy in stride.
Brown in motion now sets to the left. White pushed out of bounds about 4 yards shy of the first down. Got about 6. It'll be 3rd and 4 coming up.
Yeah, it's incredible vision right there by Zaquandre White. He really reminds me a little bit of Le'Veon Bell with his patience at the line of scrimmage
Interesting
before he makes the burst.
Okay.
But I can tell you, doesn't remind me of Le'Veon Bell. It's E.J. Jenkins, number 13. When I stood next to him yesterday, me and Quint, this guy is 6'7", legit 6'7". He made me feel small. I wanted to get away from him as fast as I possibly could.
From the 45, what do you like here in terms of South Carolina trying to convert this?
It's a 3rd and 4. Throw it to the man, Josh Vane.
He's made some big plays already for them this year. Made one earlier tonight. Brown dials his own number. Let's look at the spot. They're going to mark it short. They're going to mark it short by about a yard. So it's 4th and about 1 for Shane Beamer.
Man, if you're Jason Brown, don't put your coach in that situation. It's the 4th quarter, 6 minutes left in the game. If you got to take a little bit of a lick to get that extra yard, you take that little bit of a lick. He was going down there trying to protect himself, and I understand that. But in this situation, when you're trying to get your Gamecocks bowl eligible, you go out and you make that play happen.
Defining play of the game right here for South Carolina with a 4-point lead. They're 1 for 1 on 4th down tonight. Brown in motion.
Tried to draw him off sides, didn't get it.
And they're going to burn a timeout. The Gamecocks with 1 timeout remaining. Auburn with 3. 4th and 1 when we come back.
Say you're looking for the perfect present. You might try looking at the perfect place. A place with gifts that light up a face, as well as a room. Where it's easy to find the brands they'll love and the advice you trust. That place isn't a warehouse store. That place is your local Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their gifts. This Christmas, wrap it in red at Ace and get free assembly and delivery on grills.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Crawford, big fight tonight. Crawford Porter, ESPN pay-per-view. To get the fight, go to ESPNplus.com/PPV. Going to be a good one, gentlemen. Top Rank Boxing.
All right, Matt, back here. Crucial 4th and 1 coming up for South Carolina.
Yep.
And they're going to punt it here.
Oh.
Coach Beamer has coached offense, defense, and special teams. Do you like the call to punt it here, Robert?
I love the call to punt it. Trust your defense. We talked with Coach Beamer.
And this punt is going to go inside the 10. Boy, that's a great job.
Beautiful.
Kroger with a fantastic punt. You talk about clutch.
Oh, yeah.
44 yards, more importantly, with his quarterback on the sidelines. He places it at the 8-yard line. So Auburn has to go 92 yards here, Robert.
Yeah, I was going to say, my guy Kroger there is just delivering the goods, isn't he?
Oh.
Puts it down on the 8. And we talked to Coach Shane Beamer, and he said the keys on offense were to move the ball forward and limit negative plays. They've done that. On defense, stop the run. They could do a better job of that. But on special teams, they wanted to play with more physicality, more effort, and better technique. And you saw it right there. When a team has to drive to go win the game, you want to make them do it from 92 yards out.
Finley back to pass over the middle. Complete at the 30. And on the move for the first down, that's Shedrick Jackson. He was working against Darius Rush. And that's a good chunk of real estate all the way out to the 36 for the Tigers. A 28-yard gain.
That was finger-licking good. You see they do a nice play-action run up deep post and a dagger right underneath it. And he hits the receiver right in stride. We talked about TJ Finley having to make some big-time throws late in this game. And right there, he just showed you, hey, I can do it.
He'd like to do a remix of the victory against Georgia State when he brought his team back late and threw the game-winning touchdown in the dying seconds. On the reverse, this is Robertson. And Robertson's going to be pushed out of bounds for a gain of about 2 yards by Enoch Bari.
Yeah, you can see Mike Bobo, offensive coordinator, he ain't afraid, right? Late in the game, he's still dialing up the creative plays, dialing up the creative play actions, and getting the ball to his playmakers in space. Got to let these guys go win the game for themselves.
From the 38, former South Carolina offensive coordinator. Deal in motion now sets. A good spin move by Finley. Fires up high, tipped, and almost intercepted by Darius Rush right there at midfield. Boy, great lunging, leaping effort by Rush.
Oh,
that was inches away from a pick.
Darius Rush does a phenomenal job recovering, tipping the ball, and look at how close it is to a pick. Oh, my Lord. If he had go-go gadget arms, he would have got that one.
Yeah.
But just a nice job attacking the ball and almost finishing and getting the ball back for the Gamecocks.
Big tall corner at 6'2". 3rd and 8 for Finley. Gets rid of it quickly. Little receiver screen. Nowhere to go, though, for Demetrius Robertson. Wrapped up immediately by Brad Johnson, who had that big fourth quarter interception last week against Mizzou. What do you do now if you're Auburn? They send in, Brian Harsin does, the punt team with 3:54 to go and running.
Yeah, they're bringing in the punt team. Not a lot of time on the clock. They got all their timeouts. It's going to be on their defense to sway the momentum in their favor because the offense couldn't get it done. But Coach Harson's not going to go for it here.
Fourth punt of the night for Oscar Chapman. Ball's going to bounce inside the 30 and roll out of bounds at about the 25. Hey, Tuesday, we'll have the exclusive reveal of the next college football playoff top 25 rankings. Reese and the crew breaking it down from top to bottom. Coaches' reactions. Live interview from committee chair Gary Barta, the University of Iowa AD. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN and the ESPN app. One app, one tap. Let's see if it's time for Carolina to tap the bottle here and twist the top. Let's see what happens here if they can put a lid on this. With 3.5 minutes to go, there's a look at the standings in the SEC. Auburn sitting at 3-3. Well, 3 weeks ago, they were right in the mix still for the SEC West.
Yeah, for everything that they were trying to accomplish.
South Carolina busting one up the middle. Kevin Harris with a nice burst, gaining about 8.5. Auburn with its full complement of 3 timeouts remaining.
You're going to see South Carolina move at a snail's pace, right? They're going to take their time, let that clock just run down because they know time is on their side. And all they have to do is stay on the field, and they'll sway their way all the way to bowl eligibility.
2nd down and 1. Time for them to be very deliberate, methodical. Play clock at 3, and they snap it. And they pick up the first down. Kevin Harris. Harris led the SEC in rushing in 2020. 2:40 to go. The Gamecocks have been extremely efficient offensively. They use the term game manager a lot, Robert. Sometimes it's perceived to be a lacking term for quarterbacks, but Jason Brown has done a nice job. But when you look at the overall picture of this game so far with 2:40 to go, what's the one prevailing theme that jumps out at you?
Just for me, it's how that line of scrimmage battle actually played out. You talk about Jason Brown and managing the game, not hurting your team too much after the interception early in the game. But South Carolina has been using this man right here, Zaquandre White, to really open up a ton of holes. And it's just been on Jason Brown to get the ball to the right guys in the right time. And he's quietly had a very nice game. Getting the ball to Josh Vann, getting it to Zaquandre White, and even Trey Jones, number 44, the big man, getting the touchdown from him.
This is Harris getting to the edge, going to stay in bounds. Nice gain brought down by Simpson after the 5-yard carry. 2.5 minutes to go.
Timeout, Auburn. Second timeout of the half.
And Auburn's going to burn another one as Brian Harson's team tries to snap its 2-game losing streak. Let's go down to Quint for more on Coach Beamer.
Shane Beamer now in the middle of this huddle. I tell you, it couldn't be more impressive. They can hold on here. It's a big step for him in his first year as he comes out of that huddle. He talked to us about unity, energy, and just that being contagious. What I've seen today, relationship-based coaching, and I think that's where college football is going with the transfer portal, with the way the situation NIL has changed in the game. And his relationship-based coaching has paid dividends this year. 5-5, sitting on the cusp of bowl eligibility. I couldn't be more impressed with this team's unity. Down 14-0, they've rolled back.
Yeah, Coach Beamer talked about meeting with over 100 of his players when he first got the job. Had deep conversations about the program and goals. Harris, one of those guys, getting back to the line of scrimmage. You talked about the pillars of this program that he wanted to build on. Gratitude, trust, accountability, and love. He says we throw that word around a lot here inside the walls of this locker room and the offices. We like to love on each other. And Quint raises a good point. You've got to have solid, galvanized bonds with players these days that last.
Yes, you do, and it's part of that recruiting battle as well. But when he came in and he had those meetings, he said there was a lack of joy in the program, a lack of connectiveness, and that's why they use that love word so much, because he wants his players to know this just isn't about the 4 or 5 years you're going to spend here in Columbia, South Carolina. This is about building you up to be a better man once you leave the program. And I think when you hear that as an athlete, it draws you even closer to your coach.
3rd and 4. Looking to convert here. They're just 1 of 7 on 3rd down tonight. Is it Josh Vann? Are they going to keep it on the ground? Brown on the slant. Caught by Vann. Auburn says it's incomplete. And they're going to say it's incomplete. No, they're going to say it's a catch. Auburn players are being adamant.
The previous play is under review.
Auburn players on the field adamant about the fact that this was not a reception.
Well, I don't blame them, because they know.
That would hit the ground.
Because they know if he did catch that, it's the game. The game is over. Right? So here, he does a good job acting. It's not his job to make the call, right? He's supposed to make the ref think he did catch it. But Josh Vann, just a little out front. Jason Brown, you just got to put it a little closer to him. Those contested catches, receivers, it's a lot harder for them to catch them when they're that far away from their body.
Okay.
If you can put it right on him, he can make that catch, and he's proven today that he is a playmaker. But wow, Auburn has life now.
Let's assume that the replay official saw what we just saw. That means that Auburn is going to get another opportunity here with 2:16 to go. Kai Kroger going to come in and punt here on 4th down. We would assume that they're going to punt. Not sure what the analytics and all that say about it, but that would seem to be the logical decision.
We never know what the analytics are going to say nowadays. They might say go for it, because if they don't get it, they just have to go score a touchdown anyway. Who knows?
Was never great on math and stats, Robert. I got to be honest with you. When I graduated, it wasn't magna cum laude.
After further review, the pass has been ruled incomplete. 4th down on the South Carolina 43-yard line. Please put 2:21 on the game clock.
So 2:21 on the clock, and they reverse the call. Miscues one of the themes of the night.
Yeah, we've had a bunch of drop snaps by our 6'7" guy. We got a missed kick by Patton. As we said, they're not patting him on the back anymore because that field goal has come back to haunt them right now, because instead of them only needing a field goal to win, now they need a touchdown to go win this game.
So Finley's going to get another shot theoretically here. Look at some of the second half issues. On 4th down, Hyde Kroger will watch it bounce at about the 22. South Carolina going to down it. They're going to try and sell the officials on an Auburn player touching it, but does not appear that it was touched.
I can tell you what, if you're Demetrius Robertson right there, you have to catch that punt. You
Why?
had enough time to go catch that punt, because when it hit the ground, obviously it got close to one of the Auburn players.
Right.
And it just puts everything in more danger.
37-yard punt. Let's take one more look.
Yeah, he had more than enough time to get up there. He didn't, and you see it right here. Jalen Simpson. Oh, they did not hit him.
That wasn't even close.
Going on the field was recovery by the punt receiving team. The previous play is under review.
There's some bad acting going on down there. There's some non-Oscar winning performances going on down there. I mean, you can sell that all you want, but nobody trying to buy that. That's some bootleg right there.
That's bootleg, huh?
Yeah, flea market.
Oh, that's popcorn, huh? Oh, that is close, though. That was close. I don't think it touched him, but.
You think that's close?
Here it is. Oh, my Lord.
Nah, that's a different. It wasn't. Nah. So the ball is at the 20-yard line. Auburn.
Should be Auburn ball. They got an opportunity to.
One timeout remaining for the Tigers.
Yeah. This is it.
Who have played the whole game without their leading receiver, Kobe Hudson. Actually, Auburn doesn't have any timeouts left.
Oh, looks like they're trying to say that it did touch him. Oh.
I don't know. We got to look at a different.
Look at that. Very close. Does it change? Does the ball change its trajectory after it?
That angle.
I think it's just the angle.
I think there's an issue of depth perception.
I don't think it touched him.
Inaccurate.
I just think the angle makes it look like it touched him.
Yeah.
But the ball doesn't move in a way as if it touched his leg. Yeah. It doesn't change its arc or the angle that it's going at.
It's vector.
It's vector. We're getting all mathematical up in here.
And like I try to tell you, when I graduated, it wasn't magna cum laude. It was thank you laude. Okay. But can we move this forward, please? Still looking at this. Second half slumps continue to be one of the themes, though, for the Auburn Tigers going back the last several games.
Yeah, they had 9 total points. They had, look, points on only 2 of 18 possessions. And tonight, where they have a field goal, a missed field goal, and 2 punts. For whatever reason, Mike Bobo and this offense in the second half have not been able to get things going.
Yeah.
Sustain drives, eliminate penalties, play in front of the sticks instead of behind them. I don't know what it is, but they have to get that figured out in a hurry if they want to win today.
Now there's a different angle.
Yeah, I mean,
the ruling on the field is that it was not touched.
So that's not indisputable evidence, if you ask me.
Exactly. That's where I was going with that. As we continue to wait.
After further review, the kick was touched by the receiving team.
Wow.
And recovered by the kickers. The ball replaced at the 20-yard line. First down.
Wow.
That is a wow.
That is a stunning result.
That was almost like an Instagram filter, Sometimes
you don't know what you're seeing.
Sometimes you don't know what you're seeing. I don't believe that ball touched Simpson there, but the camera angle does make it look like it did.
That's why the eyes on the field should always be, I think, the ultimate judge. And unless it's really conclusive, unless it's very conclusive, you know, unimpeachable evidence, then you can overturn it. But
I'm telling you, like you said, all the vectors and the angles and the trajectories, it didn't look like it changed at all. But that play right there, special teams, decides the game.
2:11 to go. South Carolina with the timeout remaining, 1st and 10 from the Auburn 20. You said it, the punt return, and Robertson could have solved all that, right?
Yeah.
As Brown takes a knee.
It was a shorter punt than he was expecting, but he had enough time to go get it. Go get it. As they always say when you're running up there, yell Peter, tell everybody to get out of the way. But maybe it was his home crowd being so loud that got in the way.
Here's one more look at it. Hey, listen, you can argue a million different ways on this.
I mean, does it make an imprint on his pants? You know, if you call that on the field and say that it was not touched, it's very hard to look at all of the factors in that replay and change it.
South Carolina.
Indisputable video evidence is the standard to overturn the call on the field. And it looks like South Carolina, 1:27 now away from their 6th win of the season. Let's take a look at tonight's fighting spirit moment, brought to you by Modelo. White with a big touchdown catch and run. And then Van, who has been so clutch for this team all season long, with a touchdown catch there. But what an efficient job by Brown this evening. 10 of 15 passing. 3 touchdowns, an interception. Boy, this has got to be a huge win for Shane Beamer.
Yes, it is. Look, if you're South Carolina, you ain't worried about none of that, okay? They don't care if the camera looked this way, looked that way. They got the victory. Listen, they beat Auburn last year in an upset here in Williams-Brice, so why not do it again? It's kind of crazy, man. This is just college football is back, and you see these game-changing plays, and you never know what to expect when you step in this booth and when the people turn the game on TV. It's very exciting stuff, and just happy to be here to call it.
45 seconds to go. The clock winding down on Auburn. Brown takes a knee. Boy, what a great scene here. As Jason Brown is going to lead South Carolina to victory here tonight. Their 6th win of the season, and with it, bowl eligibility for first-year head coach Shane Beamer. In his first year, he's going to take his team to a bowl game. The first step in making his own footprints in the sand. As the Brain Trust meets at midfield, the final score, South Carolina winning it 21-17. Stay tuned for college football scoreboard, followed by Arizona State and Oregon State. For Quint Kesnick and Robert Griffin III and our entire talented crew behind the camera you never get a chance to see, I'm Mark Jones. Now we check in with the studio. So long from Columbia.